All right. All right, we are recording. It is November 1st. It's new month, 2023. It is the professional trader here. I'm also here with my brother Kailash again. And today we're just going to be talking about the Forex markets like we do. It's a pretty big day for anybody who pays attention to fundamentals. We had some news come out already, and then we also have some more news coming out. We had ADP non-farm employment. This is like the pre to NFP, right? I believe something like that. We had JOLTS openings, ISM. This was pretty good, but I see the others weren't so good. I guess earlier in the day we saw like a push on the DXY. What do you think about the news so far, Kailash, on the fundamentals so far?
Yeah, I only watched it on the indexes, like the S&P 500 thing, and we did get like a decent push up this morning. But I didn't actually look at the fundamental news,
Okay.
but it seemed like the way I look at it, it seems like it was like bearish the economy, so the stocks went up. But I don't know.
So
Is that why DXY went down?
yeah, so I'm looking because I remember I was watching a live stream. So when this came out, when these numbers came out, um that is what caused this push down right here.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it literally came and tested that I guess you could call this support down here, but now we're heading into that FOMC and these rate funds we're back at this we're right back at there. So pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Do you,
And
do
that wick, it's kind of like anybody who tried to long and they had their stop loss right under it,
you
like they got wiped out, kind
yeah,
of.
because I got wiped out
Yeah.
personally, that's to be real, but I wasn't like I wasn't like mad about it or anything because honestly, in my opinion, it's like okay, because I was taking this trade. If I go on the 4 hour, I was taking this trade on trying to short it around here, and
Yeah.
you know in profit for a good while, right? Could have took profit. Had this line right here because I really wanted to see the break, um, the clean break, and then in continuation, and these wicks kind of told the story now that it's back here, right? But I got wicked out. But it's like okay, it's like I could whine about it, or I could take a way better risk to reward ratio now and actually risk more because like this trade makes sense in my opinion, but like there's still obvious resistance here. But like now I can risk more. The trade makes a lot more sense, and it's like that's just the way I saw it. So like I didn't beat myself up about being wrong. I just took the better opportunity, in my opinion. But yeah, a lot of stop losses got wiped out for sure. Mine's included. It's definitely and
It's a good opportunity though, because like I like how you have the re-entry, so you're in a more favorable position. It's kind of like a coin toss going into the FOMC,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if the DXY gets a real nice bull candle, like you're in a position where like it could go your way possibly. If it does go your way, it's gonna go your way like in a really good way.
So
So
like my whole thing with fundamentals aside, just I guess like before this happened right here, like just back when like earlier a couple of hours ago when the DXY was like in this region, after just kind of seeing this bullish momentum, like fundamentals aside, to me before this candle right here, even with this candle, but like even with this, to me like just is bullish. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna say like I trade the news or I don't trade the news, but like I'm aware of what's happening, in the next hour and a half. But like I kind of put that to the side, and I'm not gonna say technical is rule over fundamentals because like I'm literally in between both of them. But I'm just sticking with the fundamentals and then sticking with the technicals and then
Yeah.
putting fundamentals second. So yeah, that's just how I'm kind of rolling today. But
That's so good. That's good.
but
Yeah.
stop loss is prepared because like
Hmm.
I'm aware that this thing can completely melt in about an hour. So yeah, we'll see, man. Are you in any trades?
At the moment, no. I kind of just took it off. The good thing is, I took it off. I'm not even saying like I'm good, but like I took it off right near the top.
Yeah.
Just because I could see like we pumped up right into 10:30 on the US 500 and the
Okay.
US 100. We pumped up right into 10 o'clock, and I'm thinking this news event is happening in a couple hours. I'm sure people who are long, they're in profit, and I'm a little bit in profit. So I'm like, you know
You
what,
want to
just
share your
take it
screen?
off.
See if you can
Yeah,
share. You
let's see. Let's see.
should be able
I've
to.
been kind of I started a position. Let me see. Can you see it? Probably.
I see your screen.
Okay, yeah. I started a position back on Friday in the afternoon because we were so oversold. Let me see on the hourly chart. Go trade history. Yeah, I literally on Friday afternoon I bought 5 US 500,
It's a
and
great.
on Sunday morning I sold it right here.
And if you would have held that, you would have been.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The afternoon after I kind of reloaded it right here, and I took it off up here. Been doing some small trades in between. And then like this morning, I opened up a position here and I took it off kind of up near the highs,
okay.
pulling back just a little
Those
bit.
are good winners, man.
Yeah, yeah. And the same with the US 100. I didn't hold it overnight, but I did some trades like that. And so far, I'm like above, I'm a little bit above like 1%, 1.5% on the account.
You
But
said
yeah, no trades at the moment.
above?
What's that?
You said you're above 1% because I'm seeing
Yeah,
2386 on the balance.
yeah, I'm at 25,386 right now.
Where'd you start at? Not you didn't start at 25,000?
Yeah, yeah, 25,000.
Oh, so you're about 3%, 3.86.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I thought you said 1.86. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think it's like it's since it's like 25K, it's like 1% is like
Oh,
20,
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
But
my math
yeah,
is wrong.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, true, true, true. Okay,
But
hey, those are nice. Those are nice winners, man.
nice, yeah, thanks. Like I'm surprised. Yeah, like I felt like the conviction because like we sold off so much on the S&P 500, and I kind of wish I held longer and I wish I held a larger position, but just going into this event, we never know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
You were buying down there, huh?
Yeah, on the Friday. And I'll just say one thing on the US 500 on the daily chart. Technically speaking, we have not really like sellers created like change. I don't know, I'm not butchering it, but like essentially what I'm trying to say is like I feel like we can still just go down. Like there's still a lot of risk here. So I don't feel too confident holding a position like a buy position right here. And we're still technically like in a downtrend. And with the DXY being so bullish, I'm gonna wait things out essentially. Yeah.
So I'm watching. I was watching the live stream earlier.
Yeah.
Trader Nick. I've mentioned him before. I don't know if you ever watched him, but
Yeah. Yeah.
he's like with his fundamentals. I'm not like exactly. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but he was basically saying that that it was possible for him because he's actually in a buy on the
Yeah.
SP 500 right now himself, but he's also bullish on the dollar. So his idea kind of right now that
Oh,
it's
okay.
possible to see both things continue to go up. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was just his view on things. So yeah, it's an interesting time, most definitely like at the moment because I'm not
He's
sure.
I agree with that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because technically speaking, like stocks, especially in the S&P 500, like the top 500 stocks, technically they are assets that produce cash. So essentially, when the dollar is high, it can make stocks attractive because people who want to have access to US dollars, they can kind of get that in the United States stock market. And but there's a little bit more risk, obviously. But I can see that situation. So it's not always inverse. But yeah.
That's honestly a real good breakdown and like a great way to put it in perspective, in my opinion.
Yeah. On DXY right now, I'm seeing on like there's a 5 EMA, like exponential moving average. So far over the past one, two, three, four candles, past 2 hours, DXY has been holding that EMA. So in
And
my mind, short term, as long as it's above that EMA, it's really bullish.
and usually what I've noticed, just from my time like looking at the charts, all the hours I've
Yeah.
looked, when the chart is like trending one way and heavily dips the other way, but heavily
Mhm.
pulls back the other day. I mean, not the I said other day, the other way.
Yeah, another hour. What 2 hours?
from what I've seen, usually shows that like it's gonna continue that way, like the
Hmm.
overall way that it's been, just from like my time and looking at the charts and things like that. So that's why like I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. I'm pretty confident in my position. So it's it whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't really matter. But I'm confident in the trade. I took, even though I am like risking pretty heavy, like I'm not on my phone just looking, oh, did it dip? Did it dip? Like, because I'm pretty confident like in my position. So it's a good
Yeah.
feeling, like, like to have. So yeah, but it'll be interesting, man. It'll be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you because the way the DXY is playing out, they call this like a liquidation. So it's you're like you mentioned like about getting wiped out. Like anybody who entered long from
Yeah,
here, like anybody who entered long like going into this move up, like this whole move, like sellers started creating change here with like they pulled back, they
yeah,
had a quick lower high and then they pulled back lower low, stopping out anybody who's long here who has a stop loss nearby. But they created really like no change by not getting below this whole like
yeah.
this whole area right here. Sellers couldn't even break below that. So I agree. And the way that buyers picked it all the way up, it's pretty much just it's a short-term liquidation event,
Yeah.
essentially.
Because like I feel like, for somebody who doesn't look at fundamentals, and like, somebody who doesn't really care about like everything that's happening today, if he comes, I'm thinking like, if he comes on the charts and he looks at the 1 hour chart, to him it's just another deep retest, and price hasn't really made a lower low. So
Yeah.
I'm also thinking at it like, from that perspective as well. So yeah, but unless like something crazy happens, I mean, to me personally, I feel like all signs like kind of point to the dollar being pretty bullish. Or what do you think about that?
Yeah. And especially on certain pairs more than other ones, like the
I'm
Canadian
seeing,
dollar one
seeing
right
it's
here.
finally, yeah, finally, but did it close? Oh wow, the monthly close below the September low.
Yeah, it is harder. Like I still think like overall, I wouldn't. I find difficulty. It was a bit difficult to trade that. It kind of switched later on. I guess maybe oil had a factor, but I like the AUD, the bearishness on the AUD pretty much. Like it's I think it's like a close to the Japanese yen in terms of how bearish you can get, even though the Canadian dollar had its whole move, but just longer time frame, I like the whole AUD. It would be nice to see it push down, get like a lower low on this month.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're inside right now on yeah, I think on almost every pair we are inside of the previous month, except
Yeah.
for the Canadian dollar. But like
So
Canadian dollar aside,
still some like work to do for these currency pairs, right? If they are going to still not like trending in the direction that they have been, right? Still just kind of there, but we'll see in the next couple of hours, if we can get some trend changes.
yeah. And I'll just say with the DXY, I'm still watching the September high, even though we've closed October, because
Mhm.
October's candle is it's not as wide of a range as September. So I'm watching the low of October and I'm watching the high of September, just seeing who's like who's getting the advantage. But so far it's still yeah, bulls are in control.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I personally agree with everything you're saying. Are you looking at any forex pairs to potentially trade? Do you have any trade setups?
Yeah, I'm thinking of just I might just trade the DXY. I don't know, but let me see. Have that other forex chart. Yeah, I think I might have to go long dollar if the DXY. I'm still waiting for like this breakout. I want to see a breakout of this range from back here. But honestly, like I think I told you before, right? My bias, I would like to go short dollar pairs and like long other currencies because when I zoom out, it's still technically I have to say it, like it's a bias, but it's a bias that I'm not really acting on. Like I'm not trying to go long right now. But since we've gone so far up on this weekly chart on the DXY, I still feel like the advantage for me is to get when it pulls back.
Okay.
So I'm actually watching like these daily charts and just kind of waiting for it to have a breakdown. But in the short term, if I'm gonna have to do trades, like I'm gonna have to get long dollar, but I do want to see a break above, essentially, just to continue the move up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like that support down there was created to what was once resistance. It didn't like touch it perfectly, like you
Yeah.
have it, but it touched like one, two, and then made that lower high. And now
Yep.
but not yeah, now it seems like it's heading back there. So yeah.
Technically, right? It was resistance here, not strong. Like it was, yeah, it was resistance. If they sellers tried to push away from this area, they tried to push away. They failed. They tried again to push away, but they're not getting follow through. And the buyers are actually kind of coming up, and now they're attempting to flip it as support right here. This lower area of the highest where most of the volume was traded. And zooming into the 1 hour chart, I have some levels here. They're not really clear, but what you can see is this is from the 1 hour chart, I believe. From this area right here, um, I think I still see resistance technically. I want to see actually buyers get above here
Mhm.
because from this area, and I think I've showed this on previous streams right here, this one is not really relevant, but this upper area here, I would like to see. I still think this is acting as resistance. So I'd
Yeah,
like to see them flip it as support and just work higher. But
yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Um, yeah, man. That news comes out. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen really quick.
Yeah,
That
let's
news
go.
comes out in about 40 minutes, 38 to be
Hmm.
exact. So, right. I'm still pretty new to the fundamentals, like just actually being more aware, but I'm sure like if this federal rate fund was an absurd number, it would sway the markets like pretty heavy. But if it remains the same, from what I'm hearing, like is not certain, but like almost certain that like it should remain the same.
Yep.
Um, but like a from what I'm hearing is a hawkish tone, but still the same numbers. So what could be potentially bullish for the dollar? If that number like is something absurd, who knows? Who knows?
Because
But
essentially the if you look at the stock market,
mhm,
in their eyes, it's still high. The stock market's still high. So that's why they think they're kind of trying to lower the prices to bring down inflation and all that. So I agree, like they can really spit out like a stock hawkish tone. And one thing I'll say too, it's like 98% probability is that they're gonna not change the rate.
right, yeah.
So yeah, it's almost certain. You're right, what you said.
It's good. I'm gonna just look at some other pairs. I was in some other forex pairs, but I really closed out of everything just to really kind of focus on AUD USD. Yeah, because I'm risking pretty high, but CGBP USD, still trending down, but like right, still hasn't really just like done much. But to me, the structure still looks pretty bearish.
Hmm.
Especially with this. I mean, I guess you can call it an indecision candle, but
Yeah, yeah.
like if I was looking to trade this, before anything came out, like I personally would, stop loss right there. Would be looking to just take this to the next support level, seeing this could get broken. But uh or this area right here. But that's that USD CAD. I was in the like I said, I was in these trades, but I
Hmm.
kind of just exited out to take AUD USD. But we see that we're breaking these USD CAD looks like to be seems like it's moving the best. But
Wow.
we're breaking out of these resistance areas finally. And, it's crazy because looking back, we've been doing these recordings for a couple of weeks, and I remember like when price was like somewhere over here, and
Wow. Yeah.
and like we were saying potentially like looking for price to basically get here, and like it's here now, but it took a long time, and like it's just crazy to see like what patience like really does. But
Yeah, yeah.
USD CAD most definitely looks like it's heading to that next resistance area right here, 3.9768.
And it's like 2% pretty much, like the gain from like when we first like even from like yeah, even from a couple days ago. Wow, that's a really big move.
I remember when, price
That's
was
even more than 2%. Wow, yeah, yeah.
like, we've been looking at this for like over a month. Cause I remember, yeah, like I remember price being over here, wanting. I remember it coming over here, struggling over here, coming back all the way down, retesting here. I was like, okay, is it about to start selling because it made a lower low, but it's like it's retesting down here. It came back. Yeah, it's been a long ride on USD CAD basically, man. But it's cool to see it, play out like, basically like what, a chart really just does, like, the whole really
Mhm.
thing, but like that takes a long time to happen. But it's cool. It's cool.
It is. Yeah.
USD Swiss franc was also in some trades, but also
That
closed.
was really good. I was watching you cover that like pretty much from the low, and I'm
Yeah,
impressed. Like that's a really good bounce.
yeah. And like, man, appreciate you. By the way, thank you, man. For real.
Yeah, yeah.
But like now, like this mini resistance right here, it broke, retested, and like now that to me, if I was trading, I would be buying my style of
Wow.
trading. I would buy this like right now with a stop loss right below here. But
Yeah.
like that's just like my style. It seems like this is retesting. Um, Euro AUD, that's probably the only one like I got killed on, like realistically. Didn't really just go my way. But I don't think it's over with personally, just because. But like depending on how this closes, but like just like it's right there at that support level where prices bounce, and it's kind of wicking right now. There's 3 hours left, but um
It got messed up a little bit. It looked so much cleaner before a few days ago.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, it looks so much cleaner.
Yeah.
And then really when this break happened, and then when it tried and it couldn't break again, I still liked the buy, but I didn't like it as much because now we were starting to form these like lower highs. But I don't hate it. I don't like it as much, but we just have to be patient on it. AUD that's the trade that I'm in right now. Just just want to see if I could get this to go to this support level down here, which is 127 pips, or even back to this level right here. But yeah, that's the only trade that I'm currently in. Just want to see how that could go, man. Yeah, got kind of killed right here. They didn't really get killed. Basically, break even, small loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, USDJPY is crazy. What that's doing.
My God.
That's crazy, bullish. But I don't no trade for actually, it's crazy because like it gave you a slight opportunity, if you wanted to take a buy. It retested this that previous wick high. So, pretty interesting. Gold. What do you think about gold, man? We don't really talk about gold too much. You have an opinion?
Yeah, it's still really strong. I mean, like oil gave back all of its gain ever since the whole like fighting geopolitics started happening. Um, how do I say this? Gold, man, I could say a lot, but honestly, like it's bullish. I think it might just go to all-time highs, but I think it will go to all-time highs when they cut the rates because I've noticed gold is more sensitive to rates, especially recently, than the dollar because we've known the dollar has been going up. Gold hasn't been pulling back.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I,
yeah,
I agree with you as well. And even on bullish on the dollar, this is I mean it's gold, so like I guess you can say this is a pretty aggressive entry, but I don't think so. Like right, we had this resistance right here, and as we
yeah,
testing it, I feel like getting long on this pair right now isn't a bad trade, but like it's not like the greatest because like realistically, and I mean at least in my opinion, I feel like your stop loss would have to be like at least below it, like here, like
yeah.
get room, but there's this target right here, so it really is a good risk to reward ratio at the end of the day. But would just because it's gold, I would just personally want to see some bullish candles start to form, before I took the trade. But yeah, I felt the same way. I'd be looking to continue to buy this just because that's the trend. Like can't really just deny that.
And if you zoom out too even further, like on the monthly chart and those kind of charts, it looks bullish. And it's good that it's pulling back right now, because if it kind of kept grinding higher, and it might still do that, I think it's bearish if it goes all the way up to the highs, like too quickly.
Super,
It's
yeah.
I think it's I've heard people talk about it. It's nice for it to get up, make these sideways pullbacks, and then work higher. But
And
because it's all about the news,
yeah,
essentially.
I agree with you on that statement because I heard somebody he was just talking about something and I agreed with. He said the more times a resistance gets hit,
Yeah.
the like weaker it basically is, and like the more chance that resistance finally has to get broken. And I agree with that. So like that's why you said like you wouldn't want to see it just immediately jump here. You would want to see it casually, just kind of go
Yeah.
up there, maybe fail again, but not start to make lower lows, but go up there again and then finally break it. So yeah,
It's like
I
a punch. Like you need to build up the
yeah,
momentum. Like, yeah.
gotta punch on it a couple of times
Yep.
before you get through the wall. So yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. Then the news comes out in 30 minutes. I guess I'm just gonna be casually I have a live stream that I'm watching. Trader Nick, he's doing a
Yeah.
6 hour live stream.
Oh
Yeah,
my God. Is he running it right now?
yeah, he said
That's hilarious.
it's running right now, man. He's been running it since like the first news came out at 7:15 for me.
You know what's interesting? They used to never do these press conferences. These press conferences only started becoming popular in the past couple of years, which, yeah, I guess in general, trading finances has been getting more
Yeah,
attention. So maybe that's a
that's
thing.
that.
But
So the numbers would just come out before.
yeah, so at 2 o'clock when the numbers come out, like there will be one move. It'll either go up or down. Sometimes there's actually barely much of like barely a move. But what I like to do is I like to just mark up the high of the move and the low of the move. And then around 2:30 when he starts talking, when Powell starts talking, just watching to see, are we getting above that initial move? Are we holding above that initial move? Are we going back and forth? Because yeah, there's pretty much just it's just the volatility just to trade in between.
From
Yeah.
what though, today though, because you said like for the most part, like it's gonna be volatile. So from what like today is usually a volatile day. Like, would you say 70% like chance, it's gonna sway one way or the other, like pretty heavily, or like yeah, like because NFP pretty heavy moving day. So what would you say about today?
So this might be a little bit of bias, but it's based on facts, I think. Like last time when he started talking, the market really sold off. So because he was a bit hawkish, I guess you could say. But now I'm watching the market has sold off over the past 2, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think the market is kind of expecting the same thing to happen. So now I'm thinking maybe he won't be as hawkish, but if he is hawkish, I wouldn't be surprised to see the market sell off. But I'm expecting the market is already thinking, okay, he's just going to be again hawkish. So they did the selling before the event even happened, because the market has we've sold off essentially 10% for the stocks, and the DXY has rallied quite a bit. Like it's held its gains. So it's kind of like I think like the market is kind of pressuring him. It's like, are you gonna, like last time you were hawkish? We're now selling before you've even started talking. Are you gonna remain hawkish? So if he's hawkish, I mean, this thing might go down even further. The market. It'll be interesting to see, right? And the DXY might go higher.
So it'll be
My bias is expecting him to be dovish now because the market has gone up, but we'll have to see.
to see, man. I wish I could like live stream the whole thing, but like
Hmm.
it'll be cool, man. I'll probably like maybe make another video tonight, just seeing what happens the next couple
Yeah.
hours.
One thing I have to say too, though, one thing I learned from one guy that I watch is this is really good too. Think about it like this way. What time is this event happening, right? It's happening at 2:30 in the afternoon. So big money, when they put money in the market, when they take money out of the market, it takes them a lot of time. So like on a Wednesday afternoon, they only have like 2 hours until their business day ends.
Yeah,
So big money is not usually going to make their move in an afternoon on a Wednesday. They're probably going to make their move tomorrow morning, throughout the whole day into tomorrow. And then going into Friday, they have another whole day. So some people say like today's move may not always be like the real move. The real move is typically, so nothing's a guarantee, right? The real move typically happens on a Thursday and Friday because there's more time for these big money players to move the money around.
And then there's also NFP on Friday. So
Yeah.
yeah, so also have to be aware of that. So before I go, just gonna refresh my FTMO account just for anybody who is with me on that journey. I dipped pretty down, but this trade that I'm in, if it does go my way, should be pretty good. But
I was gonna say too, I also risked my max daily loss a couple days ago. So I know what you mean.
did you did it go well or did it go?
I was lucky it did go well. My stop loss was like right above my max daily loss, but I was confident with the trade. So it came back.
But yeah, right now I am back at 4% with this current trade that I have going.
Nice.
But without that trade, I am at where do I um where that's at? Um, maybe it's
Maybe on the MT5. I don't know though. But yeah, maybe it's there. Okay, I see.
819.
Nice.
Yes, yeah. But hopefully these trades go my way, man. But we'll see though. We'll see. Yeah,
If it
but
does, you're probably gonna pass, I think. Like
yeah,
you're gonna get close to it. Yeah.
yeah, I should pass, man. I should pass if this thing does go my way. But if not, stop losses at break even. Probably move it a little bit closer just to take some profit.
Hmm,
But yeah, we'll see, man. Appreciate you though, Kailash, man. I
for
appreciate you.
sure.
Yeah, man. But get back with you maybe on Friday, if you have some time.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll be good on
All right, for sure, man. Take care, man. Don't let these markets kill you in the next
Friday.
hours, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Stay
man.
alive.
All right, man.